Hi, I'm Rob Robillard and you're at ConcordCarpenter.com. Today we're going to look at a product from WarmlyYours. It's designed for snow and ice removal and melting on roofs. You know, in the Northeast we get terrible ice damming problems which often result in roof leaks and interior damage and rot and all kinds of problems, health related and structural related with ice dams. This system is designed, it's a quality, high quality permanent solution to ice dams. I'm going to walk you through it here in front of the camera before we actually go out on the job site, because I think it'd be easy to kind of explain some of the components. But it's not unlike the system I installed underneath the walkway. In fact, it uses the same controller, the APS 3C. It's a snow and ice melting controller, and this is it here. You may remember seeing this. We installed it in the walkway project. Basically, it's an on-off switch. The high temperature setting, which tells the controller not to turn on a certain temperature. You know, for roof melting, I'd probably set it at 40 degrees or maybe 45. And the hold-on timer, which allows the controller to heat after the event. So in other words, if we have a snowstorm and the controller turns on the heat melting ice cables and it melts through the whole storm, we can set it up to 10 hours of continual heating to make sure that we get all the extra stuff and create those channels that we need for the ice dams to not happen. This junction box here accompanies the controller, and it's got the relays and different things for the wiring. These two go hand in hand, and they are basically the brains of the system. Working in conjunction with the controller is a thermostat and an aerial snow sensor. It's just heavy-duty, rugged aluminum sensor that mounts out. Best place would be, you know, somewhere unobstructed by an overhang or trees, maybe above the roof line. My electrician will run a galvanized pipe and we'll mount it probably to the side of the house up above, and it runs a low voltage cable back to the controller. This is a pretty ingenious little thing. This detects snow, freezing rain, sleet, and it can be mounted up to 2,000 plus feet away from the controller. So you could mount it over here and 2,000 feet away be melting snow and ice over there, or the controller could be over there. It's pretty cool. The thermostat will mount inside our gutter, and this will detect temperatures as well, and the two of them will provide constant feedback back to the controller. This is low voltage as well, and can be added to, and we'll run it back to our controller over there. The wire that we're going to install is obviously all the snow melt wires will be up on the roof. They will go into a weatherproof junction box, probably in the soffit area. The weatherproof junction box will have these weatherproof grommets and seals and nuts and things to keep the weather out and seal the wire going into the junction box. And then we'll run power from the junction box down probably to the basement where the controller and the relay panel will be. And that's how we'll probably install the system. Haven't quite figured that out yet. But these cables, these are the heat tape cables. And these cables are super high quality, lots of copper, much different than the junk that you see in the big box stores. Those cables, you plug them in, and at a certain temperature they turn on, and they stay on as long as it's cold. They always stay on, unless the temperature goes above whatever the thermostat is set for. They typically burn out after a year or two, and they are on way more than they need to be. This is a much smarter system. It's high quality. WarmlyYours really designs this to work well. However, this is a much more, expensive system. So this isn't your Home Depot type of project. This is a real deal solution. So we'll mount these cables on the roof, and we'll mount them up and down in a triangular or sawtooth pattern, probably spacing the base of the triangle 18 to 24 inches, and probably going up maybe the same. So 24 wide, the peak of the triangle will be up 24 inches, over 24, up and down, so on and so forth. The roof that we're going to be mounting to, it's a very old house, beautiful house. It has slate shingles, and so we're going to be mounting to slate. It's not your typical installation or application. And then it has these two, I don't know if you can see this, it has these two doghouse dormers and a shed roof connecting them. The shed roof is probably a 3-pitch, and it's asphalt roll roofing. It's I wish it was something different. It isn't. So we've got two different applications that we have to think about. We have to install the cable to the slate, and we have to install the cable to the asphalt. And the way we're going to do that, I'm just going to show you since I have this picture here. We're going to come from the junction box with one cable, and we're going to run in our sawtooth pattern all the way up, do the shed dormer, come down and do the slate all the way across. And the second wire is going to be the dotted lines. We're going to run through the gutter, down the downspout to the dry well, back up, through the gutter and down the other downspout. So we'll use two wires to install this system, and we will mount to the slates. A slate roof is super quality. It's designed to last 100 years. This is an older house, but still we want to use high quality fasteners, and these are copper slate roof fasteners. And if you look right here, there are slots in this fastener, and what it's designed to do is you slide under the slate and you hook and pull down onto the nail that is nailed through the slate, and it's designed to basically be mechanically fastened onto the nail. So that slot will hook onto the nail, and depending on where you want to mount this is which slot you'll use for the height. And then these three prongs right here is where we'll run the cable through. And depending on if it's up or being hooked down below, we may pull these tabs down to grab onto the cable. And that's probably how we'll secure that. As far as the shed roof up above, we're going to use these aluminum clips. They're basically the same prongs as the copper, but they don't need to slide up under anything. They actually adhere to with these self-adhesive strips that WarmlyYours provides. They're pretty sticky and very tenacious, actually. And you know, once you stick them on to an asphalt roof, there's no pulling them off. Watch. There's no removing them. So once you get this onto the asphalt roof, it's on. You're not going to be able to take it off, or you'll damage the roof. If it goes onto a rubber roof or EDPM type of roof, you have to use a primer. There's a 3M type primer first that you have to use on the rubber, and then you would use the self-adhering strips. This is impressive. I can't even take that off. Well, these are the components, and this is what we're going to use to do the installation. Let's go outside now and actually get this system up and running.